Hello, Glenpool. Welcome to another edition of Conversations with the City. And today we are excited to have Aaron Allen with us from VFW Post 9126. And so they do a lot of things in this community. And so we wanted to get a chance to introduce him, what's going on at the Post, and just talk a little bit about what some of the things that they do here in the city for the community and for our veterans. So, Aaron, hey, glad you are with us today. Thanks for coming in and joining us.
It's an honor. I'm very happy that you asked me here today.
So, as we get into this process, tell us a little bit about the VFW and how you got involved. I know you've been involved for a number of years with them. Just the VFW in general, what it does, and then about our Post specifically, and some of the ways that, some of the background about our Post, some of the things that's unique about it, maybe here in Glenpool.
No, I actually ended up getting started with the VFW when actually the start of our Post is, so back in late 2018, early 2019, there was a push to try to reestablish VFW Post 1327, and unfortunately we were unable to do that. But because of the interest that, all the posts on social media came around, there was a lot of veterans that were wanting to be involved. And so what the Department of Oklahoma did for us is they ended up transferring Post 9126 from Cheyenne, Oklahoma over to us. Okay. And that then gave us a starting point. And from that point on, the start of it was a little slow. We ended up hitting 2020, which honestly almost killed 9126 as well. But in early 2021, we had a handful of veterans that stayed in contact over that time. And we're just like, all right, let's do this. So in 2021, we had our grand opening in June, and we kind of hit the ground running from that point. So
how many members of the Post are there today, roughly?
Roughly, we're sitting about 45-ish. We have grown exponentially. From 2021 to 2022, we actually had a 156% increase in membership.
Amazing.
That's easy to do when you're such a small post.
No, it's still amazing to see that big of a desire here locally amongst the veterans in our community to be a part and to give back in some form or fashion.
And it was definitely exciting for us to be able to invite those veterans in and for them to be a part of a great organization.
Absolutely. So I know, as I said, we a little bit about you guys and what's going on. I know there's some officers. Each post has its own set of officers. Can you tell us a little bit about what those are, and then who's filling those roles today? So
there's actually a large number of officers that the VFW has. They usually have your line officers, which is your commander, senior vice commander, junior vice commander, and then you get into your quartermaster, adjutant positions. We have service officer, chaplain, and then we have trustees, and then we have a couple other officer positions as well outside of those. Currently, David Chapman is filling our senior vice position. Chris Andrus is filling our junior vice. Andrea Melcher is our adjutant and quartermaster. And our chaplain is Nicholas Behrens. Okay. And those are, and then Jess Perkins is our service officer. Okay. She's absolutely wonderful. What I love about Jess in her role as service officer is she has such a desire to help veterans and help them get in touch with the information that they need for service-connected disabilities. And she's an absolutely wonderful woman.
So talking about some of those, the roles that you play in the lives of veterans, tell us a little bit about some of the programs then that are specifically geared towards veterans.
One of the biggest things that the VFW offers is, obviously I just mentioned it, is the service officer. Mm-hmm. So each post has somebody that a veteran can contact to get started in the disabilities process, which is not an easy process. If you ask any veteran, it's definitely a time-consuming thing. But on top of that, if they are unable to answer the questions the veterans needs, we do have access to accredited service officers through the VFW that have a lot more access to the veterans' files, medical records, and can direct them even further and help them navigate that process even further. In addition to that, we have a Warriors Hope program that we brought into the VFW. It's basically a PTSD and a moral injury program. We wanted to have a program where veterans had an opportunity to come into the post and sit around and try and work through some of the trauma that they may have experienced in the military. What's really good about the Warriors Hope program is the fact that it's not just for the veteran, it's also for the veteran's family. So what a lot of people don't realize is that PTSD doesn't just affect the veteran. It can affect, wives and parents and children. And so this program allows the opportunity for family members to come in, and they work separately. They work in separate rooms because there are different aspects that need to be addressed privately. But it's a great program. It's fairly new, and so we wanted to try to bring it here and see if we could help in those ways.
Absolutely, that's great. And excited to see that it's not just a veterans piece, it expands out into the family as well. I know you guys have also done some stuff within the community as a whole, and as part of the Post is out working, and while it's still tied into the veterans side of things, that you've been out and working at different events, doing part of cleanup events that's there, being present at Black Gold Days or being present at our Red, White, and Boom Bash that we do every year for 4th of July. And so tell us a little bit about just quickly the heart of the Post and what your desire is here in the community.
Our desire in this community is simply to give back. And we do that. We obviously our focus is veterans. However, we understand that being active within the community is a way for us to be seen, for the community to see the stuff that we do. And we expand so far beyond that. Like, we've got programs that are designed for children. We've got the Voice of Democracy and Patriot Pen programs, where they can win scholarship opportunities as well. And we've been honored to be a part of so much. I know that we got the opportunity to help with the Veterans Memorial. That was a lot of fun. It was a daunting task after I first talked with you about it, when I realized the amount of money that we needed to raise, but I couldn't believe that we raised it in less than 8 hours because the community just outpoured its support for us. In addition, we've worked with Jinx as well, with their Never Forget Garden dedication, and I was invited to participate in the Wreaths Across America this December as well, which was a lot of fun. It was the first year I had ever done anything like that. So we're getting our fingers in as many places that we can and hope to continue that.
So as far as the Post set up and the territory, or I'm not real sure how the district is laid out here, but you guys do cover more than just Glenpool, correct?
Yes. Our VFW Post is in District 5. I can't tell you everybody that's in District 5. It's a fairly large district. But we personally cover Glenpool, Jinx, Bigsby, Kiefer, Mounds, and Beggs. So we have a very, very large area. And one of the things that we want to do is, since we are fairly new, we've kind of concentrated in the Glenpool area. That's where kind of our base of operations is. But we are hoping that over the next couple of years that we can expand into the other communities and reach even more veterans.
Absolutely. I think that's great. We're a little jealous of that, but a little proud at the same time.
I get that.
You guys are headquartered here. You're a great part of this community, great partner for this community, and so I think that's an amazing piece to be able to spread out and offer those services in other communities as well. And so, love that option. That option that you have, the heart that you have there, not only for Glenpool, but for veterans in these other communities. It's great to see. I know that. As we've talked in the past, and even again today, as we talked a little bit about some of this, getting ready for this video, that you guys have got a number of different awards that you've been a part of. You're a very active Post, not only on just the community service side of things, but on the social media side and what you do there. Love the hashtag Still Serving process that the VFW uses, and I know that was one of the awards that we had talked about earlier. The VFW's hashtag Still Serving Post of the Month. But you've also had some bigger awards as well, or these annual awards, the Scott P. Squires Community Post of the Year, and then just the Outstanding Community Service Award for posts across the state. tell me a little bit about that and how some of those come about, and just the what that means to our local veterans.
So those awards kind of came as surprises for us, which is always a nice surprise. But when I had mentioned earlier that we hit the ground running, we really kind of did that. We had a few members. They're rather handy, they and a lot of our community service hours came from helping veterans, redo bathrooms or fix broken appliances or even broken down cars. Wow. And a lot of that, the veterans that were involved ended up using a lot of their own time and money to do that. And that's where most of it came from. And so I'm like, on top of that, we've just wanted to expand out into the community as well and do more community service projects, not with just individuals, but with the city and the local municipalities as well.
Right. That's amazing. So what do you see upcoming for this next year for you guys? We're kind of the start of the new year here a little bit. As we're filming early January, this comes out here a little bit later. Yep. Here at the end of January, the video itself. But what are some of the things that you're looking forward to for this year?
The biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is just growth in general. We are hoping that we can reach more veterans, as I'd mentioned earlier before. But at the same time, we want to continue with some of the stuff that we started last year. Try to establish events that the community can look forward to on a yearly basis. And that's really one of the things that I wanted to try and establish was stuff that the community, 10, 15 years down the road, like, hey, we're doing our 15th annual event.
Absolutely.
One of the biggest ones that we did, and we actually just got done with it, we did our Snapshots with Santa. And that was a absolutely huge success. We ended up, the guy that was Santa, he's a member of our post, so he's an Army veteran, great guy. The photographer that did the photography, she donated her time, 100%. I couldn't have asked for a better person for that, but we raised over $700 doing that, which was fantastic.
Amazing.
And so this year we are wanting to do the same thing. We're wanting to do that in early December, and we're hoping that we can raise money to send to the VFW National Home for Children. In addition, we did a Memorial Day event at the Veterans Day Memorial, and we are hoping that we can expand upon that. I was absolutely pleased at when we showed up at the memorial. There were pictures of people's loved ones and coins all over the memorial. Like the community really came out, and it was something special. And so we just want to be able to grow that and establish more events throughout the year.
Well, we're excited for that. I'm excited that you have you've chosen to locate it here with us, and they're in the senior center at Black Gold Park. That you've got your facilities and your local post headquarters there. But for those that may not know how to get in touch with you guys, give me just quickly, how's the best way to reach the VFW Post here locally? Is there a Facebook page? Is there, do they need to be calling somewhere? How can people get involved with what you're doing?
Facebook is a big one for us. We are run by a younger generation.
Right.
So we are very active on Facebook. Most of our events are posted there well in advance. But in addition, a simple Google search will get you a phone number to contact us, our address as well. We do ask that if we have an event, stop up, come and talk to us. If you have questions, we'd love to answer them for you. If somebody is interested in joining, it's honestly a very simple process, and we can answer any concerns that somebody might have.
Great, that's great. So as we kind of wind down today, as we get to the end of this, one question that we ask everybody that comes in and sits down with us and chats is, what is your favorite thing about Glenpool?
I have to say the people. One thing that I've had the opportunity to do is I've been part of the VFW Post, and especially after I was elected into the commander position, is just getting to network with everybody. Whether it's the city, the mayor, local businesses, there has just been an outpouring of support from everybody. Our entire post, after working with the city to be able to utilize the senior citizens building, we furnished it with the help of the city.
Yeah.
People were donating furniture, they were donating tables, and anything we asked about, we ended up getting. And we are what we are today because of the citizens of Glenpool.
Perfect. It's amazing how often I hear that. As we go through here, we've got a great community locally. And Glenpool cares, and they're active about caring. They put their actions behind what they're saying and talking about. And so I love to hear that. That is great. I want to thank Aaron for being here today, for having a conversation with us about the VFW and what they're doing here locally. If you want to get involved, you'll be able to do that. The contact information will be a part of our post for this video. But just thank you for all that our veterans do here locally for us. Thank you for all of you that served, for keeping this country safe and strong. We will see you again next month for another Conversations with the City.